I had a history of being an athlete and doing lots of exercise and things like that, and then after a time I started getting a bit short of breath and that kind of thing, and from there I went to the doctor. From there it was only diagnosed as exercise-induced asthma, as I think is very common, and it took a period of about 5 or 6 months and swapping GPs to actually come across a diagnosis, and from there sent to a specialist. They did another chest x-ray, then went through to a CT, MRI scan. I then went straight into a lung biopsy, open lung biopsy, to actually confirm the diagnosis. Within 2 months I was in hospital to get that done, and from then was referred through to the team at Green Lane. Because my lung function was so low, they referred me straight to the transplant team at Harty Towers there, in which I did the whole workup for transplant because it was a potential there. And from there, that's when we started to hear about the different medications and things like that that could be involved in the treatment. The medication that I'm on, Rapamune or sirolimus, that was told to me that it was a trial. Basically, it was never guaranteed to do anything, but it was something that might effectively help or stop the progression of the LAM, or of the lung disease, from there. And so, of course, anything to try it. So we went on to it, and pretty much after I'd seen the specialist, it took maybe less than 2 months for it to have almost immediate effect for me, which I think is pretty unusual. But instead of being my FEV1 being at 39%, it went up to 75% in the space of 2 months. So I went from one day not being able to walk up a flight of stairs at home without stopping halfway up to try and breathe, to actually being able to almost skip up them. You know, made a huge difference in my lifestyle and enabled me to do what I did in the following years. I always wanted to travel, and so I thought, well, that's my best opportunity. I'm at my best I probably will be then, and I was on a bit of a high after the medication kicking in, so I decided, well, let's go overseas. So I got a role on yachts in the Greek islands and headed off there beginning of 2009. First year I was crew and hostessing, and the second year I got my skipper's ticket and became a skipper for a year. Never thought that I'd actually be able to do that, given my lung function. You know, 2 years prior to being a skipper I couldn't even walk upstairs, and then there I was climbing the masts and swimming to retrieve anchors, running around sorting boats out and things like that. I never thought that that would happen, and I forgot sometimes. It allowed me the opportunity to forget that I had LAM, which was great. I lead a fairly busy life with work, not only work and my voluntary work that I do with Coast Guard, so I spend a lot of time outside doing other stuff. Probably I should spend more time looking after myself. Sometimes it's a balancing act, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work so much. You've just got to try and recognise when it's getting not so good and try and work from there. I still feel I'm in early stages and getting used to my disease after being diagnosed for a few months, heading overseas for 2 years, and it's only now the reality is really setting in of what it's involved and things like that. So it is important to definitely maintain a contact over the years with the LAM Trust here in New Zealand, which has been really valuable to know that there is some kind of support out there, or someone that knows what you're going through, because it being so rare you never really get that. Advice to anyone that might have been diagnosed recently really is don't give up. I know when I first heard about the disease, and as we all do, look it up on the internet, it freaked me out, and you know, I didn't really know what to do, and it's about contacting people who have been through the same situation and knowing that there is hope, which I hope my blog and what I'm doing at the moment for LAM might actually do, is just don't give up. Look for your support people and try and figure out where you want to go, and don't give up on your dreams just because you've got LAM.